Morning. Out in Snowdonia today. I'd hoped that we'd have some atmosphere on my arrival, but as you can see it's pretty clear, so I sort of figured as I was dropping down through Capel Curig that it wasn't going to happen today. I've got another plan up my sleeve though, so I'm going to go for a walk. It's quite a steep incline, but there's a couple of lakes up on the hill just up here, so we'll go for a walk, we'll see what we can see, and it should give us views back to Snowdon, and it might make for something half decent. I'll catch up with you halfway up. I'm going to get the drone up just to see exactly where these lakes are. It's not a popular spot, this. It's tucked away in a little valley, and yeah, it should be a good one to sort of explore and show you around. So I'll see you up top. Right, well, we made it, and I've got to say I'm pretty blown away by this view. It's spectacular. Obviously we found the little lake up here in the hills, and it's just these lovely layers falling off into the distance, and it's quite a nice foreground down here. So I'm just waiting for the light to play ball, really. I've got a shot sort of lined up. I'm thinking maybe a square or a 5-4 composition, which just includes the sort of foreground boulder. We've got the lake in the mid-ground, and then all the lovely layers of the mountains off in the distance. So shooting quite a wide scene. I think it's going to turn out quite nicely if the light plays ball. So there's also the potential for a rainbow here. We've got showers moving through, so there is a sort of good probability that we might get a rainbow. The sun's behind me, so fingers crossed, eh? Obviously we're getting the light now, so I've got the shot in the bag. Quite a simple little arrangement, really. I'm having to focus stack, shooting at f8, so taking one shot focused on the distant hills and one down on the foreground here. And I'll tell you what, it's looking lovely. We've got this lovely dark sky up above, and just this like soft, the sun isn't fully out, it's sort of soft boxed by the clouds, but it's perfect really for this. It's just giving that sort of nice definition to the layers. So yeah, it's looking really good on the back of the camera, and I'm sure it's going to process up nicely. I'm just going to sit it out and see if something happens, because if we get a shower pass through, it's definite rainbow territory here. So bear with us, and I might be back in a little while. I've come down from up the hill. Basically the light wasn't improving any, so it didn't make sense to sit around up there all day. So I'm going to go and get some breakfast, and then I'll be making my way to my next location, which is a really quiet part of Wales that doesn't really get much attention, but it's a beautiful area. So hopefully you'll enjoy coming along to sort of see a bit more about that area. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Yew Tree Tarn and the walk up to Owenfell in the Lake District, but this place sort of reminds me a bit like that. The walk in, it's steep, and it's probably why there's been a bit of a lack of b-roll for this video, because it's just not the kind of place where you want to be stopping and messing around with b-roll really. It's like twice as steep as that walk in the lakes, and twice as long as well, so you've got a lot more elevation, and there's rocks falling under you, there's brambles everywhere, and it's not the kind of place for B-roll, so you know, you start messing around, chances are you're going to end up on your arse with a twisted ankle or something like that. So yeah, not the place for it. So yeah, I've got a little walk now just down the hill and back to the car, and then I'll go and get some food and I'll catch up with you at the next location. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that bit of B-roll on the way up here. It was it's a massive hike in, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to be as far as it was, but it's probably taken maybe 2 to 2.5 hours to get to this point. It's possibly one of the most remote sort of locations in Snowdonia, so it sort of gets ignored, but it's beautiful up here. The only sort of slight issue that I've got is that the route back is, you know, it's a proper challenge. It's a bit dodgy underfoot, and it's not that well defined either, so you know, we're probably an hour and a half off sunset, so I want to give myself a good hour before, you know, an hour's leeway to get off the mountain, really, just to make sure that I'm safe, because this first section, especially around the lake, there's some dodgy little steps around there and it's slippy, and I don't want to be doing them in the dark. It's not worth it for a shot, and I can always come back up here later in the year and do a wild camp, so I'm planning on doing that. It'll be a lovely spot for that. It's really remote and out the way, and there's nobody around here. So what I'm looking at shot wise is a big wide pano here. You know, I'd love to get it in one shot and just a single frame, but it's not possible. We've basically got the lake down on the left and this big hill up on the right, and using a 24mm lens, which is the widest lens I've got, it's not possible to get it all in a single shot. So it's working out something like a 5 to 6 image pano, sweeping all the way across, and we've got sort of the distant hills over in the distance. You can see a bit of the sea coming in. It sweeps all the way around to this hill, and yeah, it's looking quite nice at the minute. I'm just waiting to see if this light improves a touch, because it's still quite early, you know. It's sunset's due at around about 6 o'clock, and it's currently 20 to 5, so I'm going to give it 20 minutes and I'll be out of here for then. So, but what I'll do is once I've got the image in the bag, I'll share it with you. Right, the pano's in the bag now, so I'm quite happy with that. I think it's going to turn out quite nicely, but I've come a bit further up the hill because I'm not too bothered about cutting into this lake a little bit if I can get it all in one shot. And I think I found something that's quite nice. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the back of the camera and you can get an idea as to what I'm sort of looking at. So if I just show you that, hopefully you can see there we've got some nice diagonals in this foreground and nice textures and colour in these rocks, and then you've got the lake sort of occupying the left hand sort of centre, the hill to the right, and then the distant hills. So yeah, I think it's I think it's quite a nice little composition, this. Ideally I'd like some light on this foreground, but with the way the hills are positioned here, I'm not sure it's going to happen. Maybe one for later in the year where the light will get over the hill and you get some light on the foreground here, but I think it still turned out quite nicely, this. So yeah, happy with this and happy with today's trip really, because it's just been really enjoyable. I've not seen a single person on the trails all day, and you know, for a busy place like Snowdonia, it just goes to show that you can get away and you can still find a bit of your own space, which is lovely. So yeah, until next time, I'll share the images with you now. Until next time, cheers.